Before I start this video, I just want to let you know, if you are sensitive, if you are emotional, you might not want to kick back and watch this video. Click off the video right now. Click off the video. Because I'm going to say some things that's going to trigger you. I promise you. So if you're one of those people, please click off the video right now. What I'm about to say and the content that I am using is protected by the Copyright Fair Act of 1976. Let's go in. Today's video is on Stephen A. Smith. Another king has bowed to the heathens. I said another king has bowed down to the heathens. Stephen A. Smith looked the devil in the eyes and he couldn't handle it. Another black man bites the dust under the power and the authority of those that are running this world, for they're not of flesh and blood, but of principalities in high places. And they have used their power and might to break down yet another man. They saith, if a man cannot speak his heart, he's not a man. And if man can't stand on his square, then who is he? I tell you that I stand on my square. Never been monetized. Going on 11 years of YouTube. Never been monetized. Because I didn't want nothing to influence me to say anything other than the truth. And if I'm not your favorite YouTuber, then you don't like the truth at all. So let me go ahead and start this commentary and see the begging of a king.
I wanted to touch on something that I made news about just a few days ago. Let me say this, ladies and gentlemen. Accountability is where everything needs to begin in this world. It's something I say quite often. I certainly never hesitate to hold folks accountable when mistakes or mishaps occur. So I'm certainly not about to run from it myself. I'm fully aware that I've been in the news over the last few days, paraded all over social media as well, after comments I made during my appearance on Fox News' Hannity last week with the one and only Sean Hannity himself. And I'm fully aware of the outcry that has ensued because of it. A lot of folks in Black America seem pretty pissed at me right now.
That's because they're under the white spell. That's because they are the property of the Democratic Party. We have become actual property. No, you can't go over there. No, you can't buy that. No, you can't vote for that person. That is called a master. A master is able to dictate and control everything that you do. That is called being in control of somebody. Black people don't have freedom. That's not freedom. When somebody can tell you what to do, you are not a free man. That's why we was tricked back into the arms of the Democratic Party, for they can gain control over us again, because they lost it when they used to hang us, kill us, and grape us. These are the same people, the same Democratic Party that used to wear hoods and walk around with crosses and burning down black churches and dragging black men behind trucks with ropes. These are the same Democratic Party. You don't change from that into this. How dare you insult my intelligence? How dare you insult my intelligence and tell me the same people that used to hang us from trees love us now, as if I'm that big of a fool. As if I'm that big of a fool. I know who my enemies is. I know who they are, and I see them. Even though they try to be invisible, I see them. Brother, why are you apologizing for something that you felt in your heart? Why are you apologizing for that? I do not know. You are not a free man. You are a slave. You are a modern day slave. You are not a free man. In the Democratic Party, they run around here acting like we're actual property. Black people, you have become property. You have become a commodity once again. It was written in the Constitution that we could not be seen as a human because we was considered to be cattle. You was considered to be cattle. Something that can be sold on the free market. You were a product. You were not seen as a human. You were not seen as a human being, black people. You were seen as a product, as a commodity. And once again, black people have become the property of the Democratic Party. You're not free. You have become property. When you cannot make your own decisions, you are under somebody's control. When you can't say, no, I think this would be better for me. Let me weigh out my options. Let me see who's going to give me what I need. Serving the Democratic Party is like walking in a store and there's only one item. And the clerk is standing there telling you the only item we have is that one. You cannot choose nothing else. So you telling me out of all of these food products, I can only buy the food that you tell me that I can buy? Go ahead, brother. Apologize and bow down to the heathen, because that's what you're doing. And even though I'm not a friend of Kanye West, he's telling the truth when he tells you that these people have power. These people are very powerful. And we already know whoever comes in power was put in there by the devil himself. And that's why they are in power. Let's go.
From friends and loved ones to colleagues, contemporaries, and dare I say even the NAACP itself. Quite a few folks were put off, if not flat out offended, after my words were interpreted.
When the last time you heard from the NAACP? Negro, please. When has the last time you seen the NAACP operating in your city? Don't worry, I'll wait. I ain't never seen a Negro from the I ain't never seen a Negro from the NAACP in my whole life. In my whole entire life. And I was born and raised in California. I ain't never met a person from the NAACP. I didn't even know they even existed anymore. But out of all this time, we've been killed, murdered, Trayvon Martin. All of these people have been killed and murdered in the streets. Choked out and beaten by the police department. And I never heard nobody say the NAACP has something to say. And now all of a sudden, as soon as they see a Negro getting ready to leave the plantation, soon as they see a Negro packing up his bags and saying, no more, master, I'm not going to let you do me like this anymore. I'm going to speak my mind. I'm going to speak my mind today. You just going to have to kill me, master. But I can't take it no more. Soon as one of the slaves get ready to leave the Democratic plantation, which they have done nothing but undermined us with the 3 strikes law, with the crime bills, the over incarcerations, the unnecessary weed convictions, marijuana convictions, redlining, all of this stuff that the Democratic Party has done to us. Kicked the black man out of the house. The Welfare Act destroyed the black family. Destroyed it. And it all came from the Democratic Party. But soon as you say no more, master, I'm going to think for myself. Here we go, Stephen A. Smith. Show us what a slave looked like.
as associating support for Trump from the black community with all the legal issues he's facing. For that, I sincerely apologize. To be clear, my words were misconstrued. I'm stating right here for the record that my words were taken out of context.
Isn't that the number one line of all time? My words was taken out of context. No, Negro, you spoke out of context. You spoke out of turn. You spoke the things that you should never say, because a black man in this country can't talk freedom. That's what you did. You spoke freedom. And that's not allowed in this country. That's not allowed in this country. A black man can't speak his mind in this country. Speak his own opinion in this country. Because once he do, he is out of order and you are out of line. And they will attack you from every side. Because that's always been the whole mission, was to make sure that a black man can never be a man. I said that has always been the mission, to make sure the black man can't be a man. By incarcerating them, put them in prison, can't be a man. Because we're going to tell you what to do. We're going to tell you when to piss, eat, and when you can have visits. We're going to control you, put a number on your back like a cow, and walk you around here. How can you be a man when you got somebody telling you when to piss and eat? When to use the restroom and when to take a shower? You can't be a man. See, it's always been about breaking the black man down. Put a wig on him. Put a dress on him. Put fingernail polish on him. Break him down as a man. That's always been that. Feminize the black man. Break his will. Buck him. Break him. Beat him. Until we give up all of this manhood. That's always been the mission, family. I am pissed today. Do you understand? I am pissed. I don't care if you like me, but I'm mad today. Because yet to see another king, another great black king, bow down to the worthless heathen, it's heartbreaking. And brother, you should stand on your square and don't let these people bully you, because it's all been systematic. D.L. Hughley ain't nothing but a puppet. He controlled by them. You telling me, D.L. Hughley, that you're supposed to be so intelligent, but you don't have the mind to think for yourself, nor tell black people to think for themselves? I never heard D.L. Hughley say, well, black people, you are intelligent. Think for yourself. Choose who you want to choose. Choose who you want to choose. I believe that you're that intelligent, but you know what they do to black people? They talk to us like we're dumb. They talk to us like we're stupid. That's how they talk to you. Oh, you don't know what you're talking about. Just follow suit. Shut up. Just follow what we say. Shut up. You don't know nothing. Sit down. That's how the Democratic Party treats you. That's how Biden talked to black people. That's how Barack Obama talked to black people. Shut up and sit down. Stop crying. Stop crying, Negro. Sit down. You're out of place. See, when you're out of place is when you start to speak your mind as a black man in America, you out of place. And what has the master always done? I'm going to put you in your place, boy. You don't talk down to me like that. Oh, I'm going to show you something. I'm going to teach you something today, Negro. I'm going to teach you something today. That has always been the mantra. That's always been what they have always tried to do to us, and that's to break us as men. And then they break you on national TV. See, just like they used to do. They used to bring all the slaves out there. And they tie the buck up, the biggest slave amongst all of them. And he bring out that whip, and he get the whip, and he break it down till he start crying for mercy. Please don't beat me no more, master. Please don't beat me no more, master. While all the other slaves are watching, knowing that they're not going to try to do nothing. They're not going to buck back because they just seen the strongest buck amongst them get broken down to nothing. That's what it's always been about, bringing the buck before the congregation. And that's what they've been doing to all of them. Kyrie, all of them. We're going to bring you before the world, and we're going to break you for all the rest of the slaves can watch and see. That way they won't get up and get antsy and try to buck against us. Let's continue this madness and watch this brother continue to bow to the masters.
Misrepresenting and depicting me in a way I found every bit as insulting and disrespectful as folks in Black America evidently felt about what they thought I said. But I'll own it anyway. Because please know that I know the buck stops with me. I'm in the communication business. I've been here for 30 years, so regardless of whatever interpretation that accompanies any words coming out of my mouth, the responsibility ultimately lies with me first and foremost before anybody else. I've always felt that way. I still do. I always will. Period. Blacks who refuse to support Trump are aware of his history of issues. And we'll never forget how Trump claimed Obama, the nation's first black president, wasn't even qualified to hold office because he was born in Kenya, although Trump recanted the statement during his 2016 campaign run for the presidency. Yet Trump's dissenters were not the topic of discussion when I was talking to Hannity. The support he appears to be receiving in the polls was what was being discussed. 5 polls, count them, 5. Emerson, NBC News, Daily Kos, New York Times, and Rasmussen, all big national polls had Trump leading over the last few weeks. Plus, according to 538, recent local polls also put Trump ahead in battleground states. He's up 6 points in Michigan, Arizona, and Georgia each. Insofar as Trump gaining support in the black community, well, how about various publications with these headlines? The Chicago Tribune. This time, Trump really does seem to be making black voter inroads. Why? The Washington Post. Voters of color are shifting right. Are Democrats doomed? How about the New York Times? As black voters drift to Trump, Biden's allies say they have work to do. Axios wrote, Big Biden bummer. New York Times Siena poll shows gaps with key demographic groups. Wall Street Journal. Biden loses support among black men. The Hill. Biden losing support among black voters in swing states. Survey. Al Jazeera. Why are black voters backing Donald Trump in record numbers? And CBS News. Black voter support for Trump up from 4% to 23% poll finds. Why did that?
Who's surprised? What has the Democrats done for us? Like Janet Jackson said, what have you done for me lately? What have you done? You have done nothing for us but keep us stagnant and say, just be satisfied with what you have. And I thought it was all about progressing the black agenda. But no, sit right here, don't say anything. People are waking up and realize what Jim Crow was all about. Go look back at his U.S. days of being U.S. Senator. Everything that he voted against black people. I don't know how you guys put Jim Crow Joe up in front of us. If you go back and look at his track record, you can find it under the We Don't Like Negro files. And how many statements he has said, basically telling the black people in the United States of America, I didn't want my children around you guys. Period. But this is the same man that you prop up and throw in front of us. Let you know how satanic and how satanic and wicked these people is, and how they use works of delusion, tricking black people's minds, tricking us up and tripping us up. See, the backlash that's coming against Stephen A. Smith is the same thing the blacks used to do on the plantations. When a couple of slaves would rise up and say, you know what, we're not taking this no more. We's about to run. We's about to get our stuff, pack our bags up, and we about to run. And what did the other slaves say? Y'all are crazy. Y'all done lost your mind. You gonna leave this good plantation? Master takes good of us very well. I don't know why you guys want to leave. And the rest of the slaves, all of the 50, 60 of the slaves refused to run. And they look at the 3 slaves that's willing to stand up and say, y'all's crazy. We gonna stay here. Master feed us. Master feed us every day. And that's the same thing you have with these Democratic parties and these black people that's on a Democratic plantation. They're the same ones that's going to sit up and say, you crazy and lost your mind. Black people, if you're going to leave the Democratic Party, you done lost your mind. How dare you pack your bags up and run for freedom? How dare you believe that you can be free? How dare you believe that you can be free? When Master takes good care of us, he gives us welfare, low housing. Instead of him giving us a fishing pole where we can fish for ourselves, Master go out there and fish for us. And he bring back the fish. We ain't got to do nothing. And that's the reason why black people are stagnant now. Because when you allow another man to fish for you, you got to accept the fish that he's giving you. But when you grab a pole and fish for yourself, you can grab all the fish you want. Don't let that go over your head. Let's go.
I say all of that because I want to show you I didn't just open my mouth. I read, I listened, and I've seen a momentum shift, as we all have. Anywhere I appear, no matter my subjectivity relating to what I feel, is still going to be based on facts being presented into the stratosphere. That is who I've always been. It is what I will always continue to be. But it's never exercised with malice in my heart and soul. Certainly never to insult or harm the black community.
The black community. What black community? You got gender wars going on everywhere. You got young men running around here with choppers cutting each other down. What black community you speaking of, Stephen A. Smith? The black community that the gatekeepers don't care about? Is that the black community? Is that the black community you're talking about? The Roland Martins and the Reverend Al Sharptons that just kicking back, letting us crumble while they get their little money and their little checks and get on their little private jets and buy their little nice big little mini mansions and take care of their family and loved ones. While the rest of us are out here being fed trap music and murdering and killing each other and struggling and being tricked to be on welfare for we can be in poverty instead of them teaching us how to be business minded. You never see the Democrats having classes on how to build your own. I'm so mad. Woo. You never see the Democrats ever recommending you a class or education on how to build your own business. You never see that. Because see, they don't want you to go out there and fish for yourself. They want to fish for you, for they can control you with welfare, which ain't nothing but a modern day slave contract. Because as soon as you sign it, what they're gonna tell you, how much money you make. Do you got any property? List all of the cars that you have. Have anybody given you or any money? Have you received any money or have you given any money away? all in your business. Where are your kids at? Are your kids okay? Because if not, we're going to come in here and we're going to take them away from you. Soon as we got on that Welfare Act, we let the devil through the door. Soon as we said, you know what? We're not going to rely on each other no more. We're just going to rely on this on the government. Even though our ancestors fought for independence, not dependence. Because when you're on welfare, you are a dependent. You are dependent on something. You are dependent on that welfare check. That's not independence. Y'all got dependence and independence all messed up. Go read the definitions. Is you crazy? Are you crazy? I said, are you crazy? You don't know the difference between dependence and independence? We fought in the Civil War, or our ancestors fought in the Civil War for independence, not dependency. All of the soldiers and all of the black soldiers that fought in the Civil War are turning over in their grave right now as we speak. They're turning over in their grave because they know they didn't lose their life for this. They didn't lose their life for you to get on welfare and become a dependent. They didn't. That ain't the reason why they fought. And anybody to tell you that is lying out their teeth. So this is the truth of the matter, black people. Are you going to be dependent or independent? Are you going to grab your own fishing pole, or are you going to let somebody fish for you? Because if you're going to go with the Democratic Party, then you have decided to allow somebody to fish for you and to be all in your business. They can tell you who's staying in your house, if the father at home, if we see any of his clothes in here, you're going to lose your welfare. That's what they told the black women. You're going to lose your welfare if we find out the father's in the house. Because you know our mission is to get the black father out the house. That's our number one mission. That's why we made sure that it's a part of the policy. You want this check, black woman? You want this check? Huh? Then you got to get rid of the black man. Get him out of there. We don't want his clothes, his toothbrush, his mouthwash. We don't want nothing that even reminds us of a father in your household. Because our mission is to destroy the black family. You want this check, don't you? All right then, you know what you got to do. You know what you got to do. See, we ain't woke over here, we awake. And remember, I'm the first one that coined that phrase. Now I see people on there talking about, I'm not woke, I'm awake. I coined that phrase 2 years ago. See, people come through my channel, they steal stuff, they take off, they use it themselves, and everybody go follow them. But like I say, this is heartbreaking. Stephen A. Smith, I'm glad at least you said this is the reason why I said what I said. And you gave them all of the evidence, which is 100% true. Biden is losing support amongst the black community, especially upon black men, because black men remember that crime bill. Black men remember when you locked them up for marijuana, small amounts of marijuana. Black people remember that, especially black men, because we was the one that got the worst of it. We were the ones that they was locking up for having crack cocaine. $60 worth of crack cocaine get you 60 years. We were the ones that felt that. Jim Crow Joe, Mr. Black men remember, and now it's payback time. And now we're saying, you know what, Jim Crow Joe, you done did enough. And we ain't gonna take it no more. We jumping ship. We jumping ship. So Democratic Party, you can get mad all you want. Black men, we're gone. We're jumping ship. We're out of here. No more and no mas.